RADCAST News. Hey guys, Ryan Alford, your host of the RADCAST.
You're listening to the RADCAST.
If it's radical, we cover it. Here is Ryan and Riley.
Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Ryan Alford. Welcome to another edition of the RADCAST. We're knee deep now in our e-commerce / digital commerce series, and we've got a great guest today. I'm excited to be joined by Jordan Schindler, the founder and CEO of Nufabrx. Jordan, it's great to have you on, man.
Thanks for having me on. I look forward to it.
Yeah, man. So, as we've been kind of delving down the path of e-commerce, and, we've been pretty transparent that we're going to try to keep things radical on the RADCAST, right? And
Exactly.
we were talking with Jordan, a little bit pre-episode, the fact of the product, and I'm going to let him describe it. I don't want to give away any thunder here, but what they're doing with Nufabrx is really revolutionary, very radical. And so we're kind of pivoting both down the e-commerce side, but we're keeping our topics radical. So I appreciate you covering every base that we need here on the RADCAST, Jordan.
We do what we can. We do what we can.
Sweet. Well, Jordan, let's just go right at it. Let's start with your background. Let's give everybody that's, again, I know you guys are, don't let me use my words, somewhat in your infancy, as a business, as a brand and stuff like that. The last few years, I'm sure as you're growing, but you're in the earlier stages as a business. But let's talk about, just your background, what led you to Nufabrx, and again, not giving anything away, that what really makes your product and what you guys are doing revolutionary.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Arizona on the West Coast, always had that entrepreneurial passion. I remember from an early age trying to sell all my parents' possessions at garage sales. And we took an early trip to China, and I bought some MP3 players and was able to sell those on eBay for somehow more money than I bought them for. And I think that really sparked the entrepreneurial passion. And so went to college out in Seattle at the University of Washington, and unfortunately I suffered from bad skin. So I had bad skin, bad acne, and went to the dermatologist and ultimately learned about the link between your pillowcase and bad skin. So as you sleep, the dirt and oil from your pillowcase clogs your pores. And so my dermatologist recommended to me that I wash my pillowcase 2 to 3 times per week, which at the time as a college age male was never going to happen.
Never.
Still not going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's what got me thinking about how do you create a benefit from a garment or fabric, something that contacts your skin all day, every day. And so that's really the foundation for how we started. So teamed up with some PhD MIT drug delivery scientists to figure out a way to actually deliver ingredients through a garment. So our core value is around simplifying health and wellness. And so it's this idea that instead of having to take a pill or use a cream or a patch, what if you could just get dressed in the morning? And so our IP enables controlled delivery of medications, vitamins, supplements through your clothing, and those are able to last for 25 plus washes. So we're creating an entirely new category of clothing that we call healthwear. So whether it's a line of pain relief products, we have a line of pain relief topical analgesic infused knee sleeves, arm sleeves, foot ankle sleeves nationwide at Walmart. It might also be melatonin in a pillowcase to help you fall asleep faster. Or we'll be launching an athleisure line with an anti-cellulite cream built into it. So a very wide variety of ultimate end garments and applications. And for us, it's simplifying consumer behavior. And that's really what we're all about.
I love it. So literally medication, I got to just my mind, just my curiosity in my mind, without giving away any patents here, though.
Yeah.
So, you can take this as far as you need to, but we've got medicine, literal medicine of some type, or some type of molecule, or whatever we want to call it, is blended into the fibers. And these fibers, whether you wear them, sleep on them, however they are, they're being absorbed into the body.
Exactly right. So imagine a transdermal patch, right? A salon pause or a Nicoderm patch, where that skin contact is trigger and release to the body. And so what we've done is we've taken that concept a step further and we've put it into a washable, reusable garment. So again, you don't have to remember to apply something. One of the biggest challenges in health and wellness is patient compliance, right? I mean, we're all busy. We forget to take a pill or a cream, taking the kids to soccer practice or whatever it is, right? And so the good thing is we all get dressed every morning, right? You don't have to change any behavior. And that's ultimately why you're going to see better health and wellness outcomes through this new technology.
So you literally can wash this and it still lasts 10, 15, as you develop multiple times of that medication staying in the fabric.
Exactly. Yeah. Typically it's 15 to 25 wash cycles, depending on the ingredient and the dose. And so we can actually tell you exactly how many milligrams are delivered every hour as you're wearing the garment. So in the same way you could with any topical analgesic like Bengay, Icy Hot Biofreeze, right? We can deliver that same topical dose, but through a garment.
Is there limitations to the types of medicines that could be delivered this way? Obviously you're going to focus on some key areas, pain management, like you mentioned, or maybe arthritis or other things like that. But is the potential like endless for what could be carried through it?
Pretty much. I mean, I think one of the good things and bad things about our technology is it's a platform technology. So there's so many different possible applications and use cases. I mean, I think on one level, it has to be treated topically. So it has to be able to be applied through the skin, but there's a wide variety of different ingredients and applications that fall into that category. And then the second one would be, what is the right dose that you need to get, right? So does it need to be 50 milligrams or 500 milligrams? And does it need to last 10 washes or 100 washes? And those are some of the parameters that we play with. But typically any use case so far, we've been able to find an ingredient that solves for it.
Are we sticking to mainly like over-the-counter medicines at this point? Because my mind gets into the prescription area, which is it's both the complexity and the dollar signs go through my head. So is it OTC for now, and with the potential for prescription-based stuff?
Exactly right. So we've started with lower regulatory OTC, your topical products. But that's not to say we haven't looked at, and we'll get into more of the regulated compounds as we go forward. So, I mean, you can imagine a testosterone, or you could imagine caffeine, right? There's a wide variety of ultimate end applications that really make sense here. And all of our products are made in a GMP clean room, right? So they're all registered with the FDA. They actually have the drug facts label on the back of the product, because what we're making is a drug product. And so it is very similar to delivering a cream. And our products, for example, at Walmart are positioned in the pharmacy part of the store, because that's where the value proposition is, right? You're getting that pain relief benefit coupled with a brace.
Yep. I love it. I love it, man. Talk to me a little bit about if you don't mind, the timeline of this. Like, we talked in broad strokes with the background and what it got you here. What's been kind of the timing from, when this became a viable product maybe to now?
Yeah, so I started this 9 years ago in college, University of Washington, and it's been a 5 or 6 year development. We actually launched a pillowcase product for your skin as one of our early commercial products, and then moved out to North Carolina 4 years ago to be in the heart of textile manufacturing. Mm-hmm. So we're based in Conover, North Carolina, where there's sort of almost all U.S. made garments are in this North Carolina, South Carolina corridor. And so that's really where our focus has shifted to heavy commercialization, regulatory. And so I would say starting last year and this year is really our first heavy commercial efforts. We're rolled out to Walmart and rolled out to a lot of direct e-commerce sites through our product lines.
I love it. What's been, I noticed, doing some research on the front end that you have gotten some grants and different things like that. Can you talk a little bit about the government involvement or the interest level from outside entities and things like that?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to be able to partner with some great government institutions. So we received $1 million grant from Department of Defense. So you think about soldiers that are hiking 40 or 50 miles a day with heavy backpacks on, right? They don't want to carry extra medicine and extra weight, and they're sure as hell not going to stop in the middle of a battlefield and rub a cream on their foot. Right. And so you think about military, where you build in pain relief into a uniform, or it's antifungal for different battlefield conditions, or it's a stimulant to keep soldiers awake. There's so many different application areas there that make sense. And so the grant was really to help build and develop this technology in the U.S. Versus somewhere else where a lot of other textile products are made.
What's that translating to by way of, so they've given you the grant and to develop it here, to keep it in America, which is great to hear. Are you in active testing or anything like that directly with military products, or what's that path or timeline, or if you can talk about it, what's that look like?
Yeah, so at a high level, their focus is on commercialization and development of new materials. So it's allowing us to scale and grow our production. So that's really where a large focus has been. And then we'll work with the military on specific products that interest them, right? Navy might have a totally different use case than Army does, or than a different branch. And so there's active engagement there to figure out what are the right use cases. And then as we've seen near term, there's been a lot of engagement on the PPE mask side, where we've been supplying a wide variety of different government entities.
Nice. Talk about the brand. So Nufabrx, like maybe, being a marketing, back to the marketing side. Where did Nufabrx come from? The branding and all those kind of things. Was it the toil that every other company has in these things, or can you talk about a little bit of that side of it, the marketing and branding side?
It's funny. It's definitely been an evolution. I was actually just putting together some slides from like last couple of years, and some of our early names were just terrible. Like one of the first names we had was Skin Ally, but people read it as Skin Alley, so they thought it was like a strip club or something, which was just a total miss on the marketing side.
That's radical.
But so it actually started with Fab RX, right? Fabrics. So we're like prescription fabrics. And then that was taken. So we're like, we'll add a new in front of it, right? So
right.
that's how Nufabrx was born. But I think it works in the sense of it's new prescription fabrics, right? It's this new category that's never really existed before. But like everything else, it's certainly been an evolution.
How long is I know, transitioning a bit into the nuts and bolts on the e-commerce side, and I see you're doing some direct to consumer things. Can you walk through a little bit of what that timeline, when the site went up, and, any learnings to date, or just, any of the nuts and bolts there on the e-com side?
Yeah, it has been blowing up. It's been a crazy evolution. So just for some context on us, we actually started primarily in the B2B space. So we were focused on what are the right business partnerships, right? For example, So it's at a Lululemon sock powered by Nufabrx pain relief. And so that's actually how we started. And we've seen a lot of traction due to the PPE mask space. We launched a reusable antimicrobial mask. We just launched one with shea butter as a moisturizer, Silesia. And so in response to the shortage of masks that we've seen, where the doctor has an N95 that's disposable, you throw out after each use, why can't you have a mask that's washable, right? So we got into that business in early March, and that was really our first foray into e-commerce. So it's literally been since March, but it's been crazy. I mean, so we had fortunate to get some great press. Like literally the day or two after we launched e-commerce, we were on Fox News and GQ and Esquire. And so we were able, in a couple of months, able to build a 8-figure business e-commerce that sort of didn't exist before. So it's been a rapid evolution and bazillion mistakes made, but fix them along the way and go as fast as you can.
Are you guys on Shopify?
We are. Yeah.
Yeah. We're a Shopify partner. We push a lot of people there. So the first thing I check when someone comes on, like, what platform. So you're on the right one, I think, for at least for most people starting out. So, I mean, have you been pleased with the Shopify side of things? Shopify Plus for the win. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's great for getting something up really fast. I mean, I think that's been one of the lessons for us, is like, especially in a pandemic, right? Like you've got to react quickly. Like a day really does make all the difference for some of these large orders and for people that are struggling without a mask, right? So how fast can you get it out there? And I think it integrates really well with our fulfillment partner. So we were able to get that up and running very quickly, which has been nice.
Have you, what's been your primary like marketing tactics, going D2C with maybe the mask and some of the moisturizer stuff? Like is it been social media? Like what's been some of your primary kind of marketing channels for the D2C stuff?
Yeah, for the masks, I think a lot of it came from good PR. So we got a lot of like TV media. I think I mentioned Fox News and some other publications. And then, it's a lot of digital ads. So Facebook ads and Instagram. And the masks has been especially difficult because there's so many restrictions. especially for products coming from wherever they're coming from. But
Yeah.
there's been a lot of restrictions because the market has just been flooded in recent weeks and months. And so they're trying to do some regulation there. So I think it's been a combination of all of that. And then on the Silesia, the moisturizer infused mask, we did a lot of influencers. So we did an influencer combo with medical practices. So we launched through dermatology clinics and plastic surgery offices and really coupled those two things. And we did a nationwide launch where we sent out influencer boxes where they all did a big reveal at the same time in different time zones across the country.
Was that successful?
It was, absolutely. I mean, I think we got 40 or 50 million impressions in the first day.
Wow.
So it's a great way, especially as everyone's sitting in their house, right? Like there's not a lot of
Captive
stuff
audience.
going on. Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, you could, yeah, sure. Send me a free product, right? I'll open it on my social media. But I think it was a good way to capitalize. And I think some marketing has changed, right? Before you might've had a big event and had a bunch of people and tried to promote it that way, but it's certainly more difficult now in the era of COVID.
Course. Can you talk about the relationship with Walmart and how that kind of originated and maybe where that's headed long term? Yeah,
we joke about this one, but so we launched a new brand in March 2020, probably the worst time in history to launch a new retail product, as like no one is going into retail stores, but it's actually been a very good relationship. So I went down to Bentonville last year and met with the buyer. And I mean, in 2 minutes, he goes, I get it, right? There's this huge correlation between people buying pain creams and braces. Why not put the two together? It's more convenient and it's cheaper and you don't need two different packagings, right? Yep. And so they were all about it. And they didn't even do a test. They just said, we're going to roll this out nationwide. So it's 4,400 stores. And we're fortunate to have such a great partner in Walmart where they want to be up front and they want to be involved in any new technology and development. So yes, this year has been, I think, crazy for everybody, but in general, we've seen a very good response for our products and we'll hopefully be rolling out additional SKUs next year through Walmart.
You talking to anyone that you can name, any other distribution points or channels? I mean, is it Amazon, or are you exploring or already in any other channels? Yeah, so we're just getting into Amazon a little bit. On the PPE side, a lot we're trying to push back to our website so we can own the user data and the traffic. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to do that for a marker for where to do a highlight spiel, because so many people we work with are so reliant on Amazon on the front end. They don't start D2C and they own no customer data. They have no customer relationship. You win the prize of the day. What did I win? We'll send you a RADCAST tumbler. All right, done. We'll trade you for a mask. Perfect. But yeah, expound on that, please. Yeah. Yeah. So for us, it's been important, especially as we're launching a new e-commerce site, to own all the customer data, because we see ourselves as a platform technology. So the same person that wants to buy a moisturizing mask also is going to want to buy a pain relief sock potentially, or a moisturizing anti-stretch mark belly band, right? Like we can capture every different garment type with different use cases, right? So there's so many different medications or treatments that people can take, and we need to own that customer data, because all of those people could be target customers for us down the road. And so you really don't get any of that with Amazon and other e-commerce channels, right? It's a one-time sale pretty much, right? You hardly even get their email address. Yeah. And so for us, our focus has been first on building out our website, where we can go back and retarget consumers. We can use them for survey data, right? It's just a much better option for us. Yep. I love it. Any other brands? We've got Walmart, but any other discussions with anyone you can discuss? Yeah, we're working with one of the other large pharmacy retailers as a potential new distribution point. We're also working with a couple large medical distribution groups. So we're talking about selling products directly through doctors' offices and clinics, where you might have the Walmart version, and then you'll have a higher end, or we call it extra strength, right, product in some of these doctors' offices. And so we have the ability to tailor the overall dose that goes into a garment. So like a bottle of aspirin, right? You might have the 20 pills and then you might have the 50 pills extra strength. And so we're able to do that in the same way through garment types. And that'll allow us to differentiate through different retail channels. What is the, we've talked about it kind of broadly, like where things are headed. We talked about prescription and all that, but is there, I get the health and wellness tie and all that, but is there any kind of, other than your own experience, are you guys grounded in any kind of other kind of ethos or thing kind of as a company, or things that you're getting behind, maybe with everything going on, or those kind of things? Is there any kind of other brand ethos or beliefs or, partnerships or things like that would be of note?
Yeah. So I think everything ties back to our desire to simplify health and wellness. So in a similar vein, from a personal experience, my grandpa unfortunately suffered from Alzheimer's. And so couldn't remember to take his medications every day, but interestingly, he still puts on a sock in the morning. And so it's applications like that we truly find really compelling that can help people. And in the same way on the PPE mask side, we actually got into this business because we got a request from our local elderly care facilities, police, fire, EMS workers that are like, we don't have a mask. Can you make a mask? I'm like, product we had never made before. And so we ended up just starting off and making them and donating a bunch of masks. I think we've donated 25 or 30,000 masks so far. And recently we've partnered with Head Start and Community Action and a couple of these programs that are getting kids back to school to provide them with really discounted masks. So for us, absolutely want to help our local community. We want to help support whoever we can. And that's through every product that we make. Yes, we're a business. We're here to make money and grow, but we're also here to make products that actually add value and help people, right? Whether it's a product for pain relief that makes someone's life less painful, or whether it's a belly band for stretch marks that's going to help someone feel more comfortable or confident in their body, right? That flows through every product that we make.
Love it. Talk about like a day in the life for you. You're running a company, you're a younger guy, or, but you're entrepreneur, you're living the entrepreneur life, I'm sure. Maybe walk through, people that listen to the podcast are either already entrepreneurs and can relate, or fledgling, hoping to be entrepreneurs. Maybe what's a normal week look like for Jordan?
I don't know if there is a normal week. I think that's one of the fun things that I really enjoy about being an entrepreneur is just the ups and the downs and all the learnings, right? Every day is totally different. One day I'm working on HR because apparently we need that now. Or
how many people do you have to that?
We're at 30 now, but we were at 7 60 days ago, right? So we've just been growing like crazy. So whether it's working on HR or it's talking to our tax people or it's different month-end accounting, right? To me, the exciting thing about entrepreneurship is you get an education in all of these different things. And it's not just a very routine, every day I go to work from 9 to 5 and I'm doing this, this, and this. So some days I'm at the office at 6 till 10 p.m., right? Some days I'm working from home and hanging out and traveling and talking to our people. So trying to stay very grounded and focus more on strategic vision and high level strategy as we continue to grow and scale. And I think it's a cross between execution, making sure our team has the direction it needs to, and then continuing to grow and build my skill set as a leader.
Do you see yourself, loaded question.
Here's the trick question. Here it comes.
Here it comes. No, but I just, I think it's interesting. Like, you obviously there's so much potential here with Nufabrx and, my mind, even talking to you and knowing more now about the brand, I go down like 1,000 rabbit holes of where you could take this. I'm sure you owning a company do that as well. Do you see yourself being serial entrepreneur? Like, is Nufabrx, like we're going to take it to the mountaintop and see wherever, like, are we going to not necessarily get bored, but it's always going to be your baby, but you see yourself getting involved in different things?
I'm having so much fun with this one. And I feel like this in a nutshell is being a serial entrepreneur, right? Because like a pain relief sock is so different from like anti-cellulite yoga pants or a pet bed that kills fleas and ticks, right? I think we have a fantastic opportunity as a platform technology to build so many different products for different markets. So I think in a nutshell, it's the best of both worlds because you get to focus on different audiences, different products, and continue to build and grow that same healthcare vision that we're trying to create. So no, I love it and sort of see this continuing for as long as I get the opportunity to keep doing this.
What one last kind of marketing question, and then we'll kind of close out. Is there is there a specific content strategy for you guys? Like, I mean, again, back to that, the wide swath that you just described. I mean, how do you guys think about content development? And is that kind of a pillar that's a focus right now?
I think content is so important, especially as we're continuing to try to grow our e-commerce site and attract consumers. So we think a lot about who is our consumer and how do they flow into our next product lines, right? It does the same person that want a moisturizing mask want pain relief socks, or do they want yoga pants with a moisturizer? And so I think we spend a lot of time figuring out what our content should be for specific target customers. And I think on one level, it's probably a little more difficult even for us, because our customer in the same vein might be a 6-year-old male. It might also be a 20-year-old female. And so because we have so many different product types, we have to be very thoughtful about how we're approaching our content for everything that we do.
Any advice? Now you're 9 years into it, and even if the last, I call it 3, have been, the trajectory going a whole other level, and even the last 60 days.
Yeah.
But any advice out there for people that are, again, climbing the mountain themselves, or just, learnings that you've had, and and I know you're still in the middle of it. We're learning every day. Being an entrepreneur as well, I know that drill. But any pitfalls to avoid, or words of wisdom at this stage?
I think one of the biggest things for me is perseverance, and make sure you love what you do. I think obviously hard work and right time, right place is important, but I think it's having that drive and love of what you do that really pushes things forward. So, for me, I think about it, it doesn't feel like work, and that's what allows me to work and execute till 10 or 11 at night every night, and I'm just having fun, right? And yeah. I feel so blessed that I sort of have that and found that. And I think that's critical for success for any entrepreneur, because otherwise I don't think you'll make it. There's so many highs and lows. And I think that's true for any entrepreneur, right? One day you're selling 10 million units, the next day you're getting sued, right? Like it's just totally up and down. So I think that's right. So I think you just have to have that love of what you're doing that allows you to keep waking up every morning excited. Like Monday morning is my favorite time of the week, right? I want to see what's going on, check some emails, and that to me is what keeps me going. And then I think the second one is always keep learning. So I can't tell you how many, I have a 2-hour commute, which I've actually really appreciate, because it's a great time for audiobooks. So just throw on an audiobook, listen to books, and educate yourself. Because that's how even the book didn't directly tell me something, it sparked something else in my mind, which has allowed me to continue to grow and improve as a leader. So I think it's always just continue to learn and keep growing. It's critical.
Love it. Two big ones on my list. What the saying says, if you love what you do, you never worked a day in your life.
I love it. Couldn't agree more with that one. It's so true.
All right. I'm going to leave you with the tagline that I wrote when we're sitting here. So take it or leave it, but feel better. Simple.
I like it.
There you go. Feel period,
it.
Better period. There's your freebie tagline. You can call me and you can pay for something different, but simple but good.
I like it.
Jordan, man, real pleasure having you on. Real fascinating. I feel like I could talk to you for a couple hours. My mind swims a bit around all the avenues you guys are doing, but I know both just the insights of growing the e-commerce business, the B2B side, and just the overall interest and fascination in medicine and fabric, dude. You're crushing it. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great, and I'll continue to follow you guys, because you can never have enough learnings on marketing and e-commerce, right? It's ever evolving. So appreciate you having us on.
A real good series going, a very good wide guest. There'll definitely be some learnings. If you need to go check out our previous episode with Sean Whalen, real intense guy. It was our last episode, but super transparent, talks about personal branding and how it's grown his brand and things like that, which, there's some story there for you as well, but I
will definitely check it out.
Look forward to staying in touch with you, and man, keep on being you, and let's make the world better.
We'll keep trucking, and we'll keep being radical. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, Jordan, appreciate it so much.